Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here back again for some more NHL 19 news, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new NHL 19 Collision Physics trailer and blog that went along with it. So if you guys wouldn't mind, make sure to go down to that like button down below, make sure to hit it, subscribe if you guys are new and want to stay updated with all the newest NHL 19 news. This is definitely the place to be. So as you guys know, last week we took a look at the new RPM motion technology skating with Connor McDavid, and taking a look at the all-new skating engine and how that new skating engine is pretty much going to affect how you play this year's game, as it's going to have a huge effect on gameplay. And now we're going to be taking a look at the update to Collision Physics, which definitely tie in along with that skating update as well. If you want to hit in this game, obviously you got to skate. And this time we have PK Subban talking to us as well with the new updates for hitting and how hitting could actually be a very viable strategy for defense in this year's game. So take a look.
Everybody's in play. Once the puck drops, everybody's getting hit.
You take an athlete like PK Subban,
Right here.
to have a highlight reel such as his was great for inspiration for the team.
80% of hitting is timing. Understanding if the player sees you coming, if he knows where you're coming from, how to position your body to make a clean body check. There's so many things that go into it.
Everything that we did sort of represented what we were seeing in the modern day NHL. When you really see that point of contact, like a shoulder driving through the chest of a player, and with the unique tensions on each limb, you really see those flush contacts, and you see that player get separated from the puck. How prepared they are determines whether it's just slight incidental contact all the way to big crushing hit.
Alrighty, so let's move on with the blog post. Collisions in NHL 19 are realistic, impactful, and fun thanks to a reinvented physics system that overhauls how checking affects gameplay. Hits react to speed, angles, and skater physicality, bringing you an experience that looks better with new animations and feels even better thanks to responsive controls. Keep reading to find out how Collision Physics makes NHL 19 a true-to-life hockey experience. Alright, so let's dive into that. Power like PK. Take control with authentic hits that send shockwaves across the rink, commanding the physical side of the game. With new thrown hit animations, unique limb tensions, and sensitive awareness of angles and speed, NHL 19 Collision Physics provide a variety of impacts that recreates the electrifying style of players like PK Subban, all in the timing. The goal of redesigning Collision Physics was twofold: bring players an experience that looks better, and a game that responds in ways you'd expect. In addition to a player's size, strength, and hitting skill, Collision Physics will require you to think about details like angles, speed, and positioning when deciding whether to commit to a check or not. Hit tracking has undergone improvements that produce realistic collisions and give you more directional control over your hitting. Stop or start instantly and skate towards an opponent with speed as you look for that game-changing hit, or simply roll the left stick and take an arced path to glide towards your objective. Either way, you'll be able to decide exactly how you collide with your opponent, and the results are more accurate than ever before in NHL 19. The real-time responsiveness afforded by Collision Physics in tandem with RPM skating means you'll be able to time your checks just right. No two hits are the same. If you do catch your opponent with a collision, then you'll notice thrown hit animations that look more realistic and impactful directional movement. How you throw a check is changed by the speed and angle of the collision, as chasing a skater from behind and pushing them will create very different collisions that a standstill shoulder check will. Part of the variation in hit outcome has to do with unique limb tension and physicality, as NHL 19 Collision Physics allow for accurate distribution of force across the human body. Limbs, muscles, and joints now absorb force in ways you'd expect, as big collisions cause skaters to fold up like they would in real life. This applies to both skaters involved in the collision, as you'll retain body positioning while checking your opponent along the boards, as opposed to bouncing right off them. You'll also want to be aware of the relative angles between players involved in a collision, as this has an impact on force distribution and the resulting hit animation. Catching your opponent square to the center of the body will produce a much different collision than simply catching a piece of their shoulder, as angles, speed, physical tension, and thrown hit animations all work together to produce limitless variations in hitting. And then finally, don't fall behind. Stamina plays a huge role in hitting this year too, as endurance affects your ability to absorb a check. When your skater's stamina is low late in a shift, Avoid collisions at all costs, as this has a detrimental result in how quickly your player gets back up. Once you find yourself out of position in NHL 19, it will require even more stamina to return to a safe defensive stance. While responsive controls allow you to change direction instantly, they also burn more stamina, which can be countered by avoiding sudden stops or starts when necessary. Keeping track of your skater's stamina will help you make strategic decisions, such as utilizing a poke check to conserve energy as you attempt to disrupt the play. Make sure you have endurance in mind as you enjoy the endless number of unique hits available with NHL 19 collision physics. A lot of stuff in that blog and a lot of really, really cool things. So the way they're describing hitting this year is that it's definitely going to be a much more viable option than stick lifting or poke checking. Every time your guys are going to be poke checking more and more often, as you saw in this year's game, you couldn't really spam poke check all too much, as your poke checks will become less accurate, your player will slow down. Same thing goes for NHL 19. However, they're going to be taking endurance and stamina into consideration as well. The more you use your stamina, the less effective your players are going to be out there on the ice with both skating and physically, either with protecting the puck or trying to lay a hit. And the more you use your stamina and the longer you keep them out on the ice, the more liability they are going to be if, for instance, they do end up getting hit by a defender or a guy on offense and he's going to take longer to get up. So possibly if your guy has like low stamina and he gets hit at like the end of his shift, it could also be like the amount of time, say in NHL 18, when you lay a hit and one of your opponent's players gets injured. That amount of time that the injured player takes to get up might be the actual result in NHL 19, where, as I mentioned, if he's late in the shift and he's conserved a lot of energy, it might take him that long to actually get up and get back into the play again. You really have to use your players wisely. Don't use stamina, conserve endurance, energy as much as possible if you want to be effective in NHL 19. And just from the clips that we saw in the trailer too, just the way the hits look this year as well, you can tell by like all the hits that like PK Subban was laying, or a bunch of the guys were laying, the way that he followed through with his hand or with his entire shoulder and his elbow. He wasn't elbowing anybody in the trailer, unfortunately, but just the way that he was hitting and the way that the players were following through with their hits. And especially that one instance along the boards where he didn't actually cram him into the boards, or he didn't bounce off of him or like shrug him away and the guy just kept going like he never even touched him. He kind of ran him into the boards. Both players instantly stopped, but the player who landed the hit still had the advantage because he was still skating after the hit, and it caused the other player who had puck possession at that time to kind of stop dead in their tracks to embrace the incoming hit and then start the chase again for the puck. So I really like that little clip there in the trailer for sure. And like I said, just the way the hits look, the way players are reacting to getting hit, hopefully they're not going to be on the ice and then the puck is going to be caught in between them. That's still the one worry that we have, especially in this past game where they said they fixed the puck lying underneath a player and hard to dig it out. So you lay a hit, you still can't pick it up, but puck pickups are definitely addressed for this year as well. So I'm interested to see how good hitting is going to be as well as the fact that, and then always comes the talk of, well, the AI, this isn't going to affect the AI because the AI is still going to be just as good in playing defense for you. There were a couple game changers that mentioned the term of, like swinging or launching your defenders, where you just switch to one guy, switch off of him so his AI comes launching at you. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing in NHL 19, where the computers might not end up doing that now, and you're going to have to really control yourself on defense and mix it up. Throw a poke check here and there, throw a hit every now and then to vary up your defensive strategies, and definitely seems like hitting is going to be a good way of playing defense this year, or really making your opponent pay in certain circumstances where their stamina is really low and you get the advantage every single time. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Is hitting going to be much more viable this year after reading and going over this trailer? Do you guys like what you see? Do you like the new animations? And do you think that the AI are going to be better or worse because of these new collision physics? Do you think the AI is going to check a little bit more often than not? Or do you think they're still going to be, relatively OP as per always, and you know, just doing their amazing poke checks, being right in the lane and all that kind of stuff. Let me know down below. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe as always. I'll see you guys next time for another NHL 19 news video. Peace.